Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone, hi, hello, welcome to a very exciting episode of Allison Rosen is your new best friend. And I know what you're thinking. If everything's exciting, then nothing's exciting. But I don't subscribe to that. Everything's exciting, and then sometimes things are very exciting, and oftentimes they're very exciting. And this is one such VE episode. I'm sitting here in my studio with Daniel Quantz. You know him as your husband and mine. Hello.
Have we brought everybody into our relationship now?
Yeah. We're dating
This is a lot to manage.
A lot
I'm
of
feeling
people.
a little overwhelmed.
Some people would say we're dating a myriad of people, or we're in a relationship with a myriad of people. But I am someone who prefers to say we're in a relationship with myriad people. Have you noticed this? A lot of people put an A before welcome to.
Which is correct.
They're both correct. But I just feel like people don't realize. It's like everyone is zigging and I'm saying, hey guys.
Would you say
zag.
myriad people or
Yeah.
myriad of people?
You would either say a myriad of people or you'd say myriad people.
Myriad people.
But I feel like people say a myriad of people because they think it sounds, it's sort of like there's 4 people involved. You, me, the listeners, and myself.
Now,
And
if there was
it's like him, like that guy, that gal, that dog, and myself. Wait, no, that's correct. No, maybe it's not. People say myself when they mean me. They say I when they mean me. And they say a myriad of when myriad is fine.
If you're schizophrenic, there's a myriad of me.
We are
Myriad
having a
me.
schizophrenic relationship right now. But yes.
A show about a woman named Miriam who is schizophrenic.
And what would it be called?
Myriad Miriam.
Or a myriad of Miriam.
Or a convention of Miriams would have a myriad.
Miriam
Miriams.
Com?
Boy, this is fascinating
It would be
stuff.
No, it'd be Miriam Com. A convention of Miriams, like Comic-Con.
Miriam Com.
Miriam Com. So anyway, the reason it's exciting.
Starting with a bang.
The reason it's exciting is for you to figure out. But anyway, I want to tell you I'm on Patreon. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. And just this morning, I uploaded a new friend zone featuring myself. Now that is correct.
No one's arguing.
Yeah, they are. But also Elliot and also Petey, who is a dog. Elliot wanted to start it out in the beginning and he did bits. He told jokes. He told me to give him space and to look the other way. And he did like some physical comedy, and then there was a dog. I mean, this one had it all, Daniel. So as I said on the episode, I am not trying to commodify my son. In fact, I think that is not a good thing to do, but it's one that you're going to want the video for because it's just, there's a lot of adorableness and fun and madcap stuff. So patreon.com/Allison Rosen is where you get that. And I haven't even begun to tell you about the content on the episode. Daniel, you've heard me talking about this nonstop for the last multiple hours. And I'm just going to warn you right now, the next 40 seconds of me discussing this, I'm not warning you, Daniel, even though you look warned, I'm warning them, is going to be aggravating and frustrating. How do you feel about that?
What is it you're going to be talking about?
That is the reaction that they're going to have when I explain the following, but I don't give enough detail so that they'll just be... Wait, let's pretend that's a drop. When I point to you, say...
What is that you're wearing?
Say, what is that they're going to be wondering about?
What is that they're going to be wondering about? I don't remember what I said. What did I say? I mumbled
What
that
is
on
that they're
purpose.
going to be wondering about? What is that they're going to be wondering about? When I point to you, you say
Okay.
that, Kay?
All right.
So,
What is that they're going to be wondering about? All right, I got to go deal with an email.
are you serious?
I'm sorry. I will be right back.
This is all right. You're saving yourself because you're so fucking tired of hearing me
Pause it and I'll be
talking about this. No, I'm just going to go on and tell them. So anyway, guys, on the Patreon episode, okay, let me back up. I'm currently in a pickle where there's a situation happening in my life, or rather it's happened. A situation happened in my life where I feel very ill at ease about it. I have not achieved inner peace about it. And whenever I talk about it, I feel unsettled. So I had to have 2 conversations yesterday about it. And I felt like I had said too much and I blabbed too much. And then on the episode, the Patreon episode, I was trying to talk about how I felt that I'd said too much. But in the course of saying that, I ended up retelling the entire story. So then I felt that way again, like, oh God, once again, I have said too much about a situation where I said too much. Have you ever had that happen? It's like about a breakup where, ooh, look who's back.
You're not talking about this shit, are you? What is that you're wondering about?
I am talking about this shit, but in such vague terms that it's going to make them say,
Why am I listening to this podcast?
oh, new drop.
Why am I wasting my time with this bullshit?
Oh my God, new live drop.
Honey, seriously, just drop it.
No,
Like,
I want you to do the drop.
Oh, what is it that we're about?
No, you have 3 drops now.
Honey, I'm lost.
Why
What is
am
it
I
that
listening to this
Why am I listening to
podcast?
this podcast?
Oh, what was the third one?
Why am I wasting this time with this bullshit?
Yeah.
Come on. Can we just talk?
So anyway, I was explaining to them that on the episode, the Patreon episode, I'm in a pickle, right? Sorry, guys, we're going to have to repeat this vague story. I'm in a pickle where there's a situation that I don't feel settled about. I feel like I cannot find inner peace about it. I feel very, ugh. And anytime I talk about it, I feel unsettled. But I had 2 conversations yesterday where I felt that I said too much about it. So on the Patreon, I was trying to discuss the fact that I felt I had said too much. And in the course of that, I had to retell the story. Hence, I said too much again. So that is and I know that you're tired of hearing about this because it's just been non-fucking stop.
It's the
And
only
it's
thing
like,
you're thinking about.
we go to bed and then we wake up and I say more about it. Except you and I went to a meeting this morning involving the school.
Mm-hmm.
And for a blissful hour, I did not think about it. But then I'm back to perseverating.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is, there should be a word for those situations where no matter what you say about it, you feel icky. Is that a me thing, or is it just me or everyone? Just me or everyone. There are certain situations in life where there's no way to talk about them without feeling yucky.
I guess I'd need that to be defined more. Like, what do you mean, like, talk about it?
Like, there's no way to explain it without feeling like you both said too much and didn't say enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I can't
guess
think of any examples, but
I guess it's a situation where you don't quite understand why it shook out the way it shook out, and you feel like you're worried that people are going to look at it and think that you were in the wrong, or you know that there's a narrative that's unflattering to you, but really you feel justified. But in telling the story, you have to go into the details of why you did what you did, and then it just ends up feeling like you just vomited on the person.
Well, I would say maybe like your Corolla split.
Oh yeah, that's actually
felt-
what I was just thinking about right now.
Where you felt like
That's specifically, yes.
you needed to explain your side of it, but the more you tried to explain it, the more
I felt like I just sounded petty, or I don't even know. Like,
You were
and
in a
also,
lose-lose situation,
yes,
though.
because also I was trying to act like everything's cool. Like this situation right now, it's like part of me wants to like be like, let me tell you the whole story, and the other part of me wants to be so professional that I don't even discuss it at all.
Yeah. I'm sure
But I'm
people are
asking if-
loving that you're talking about something they don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it makes them say,
Why am I on this planet?
oh my God, it's gone existential. Wow. So anyway, big news. Tony, play like a drum roll. I did something this morning that I haven't done in roughly 20 years.
Get ready to have your socks blown off, people.
Longer than 20 years. I forgot how old I was. Longer than 20 years. I ordered a fancy coffee drink. Now, you might think to yourself, she's the lady of this world. She probably orders fancy coffee drinks left and right, but I don't. I just go to a coffee place and I just get coffee or iced coffee. I dabbled with like espresso for a little while, but I would get my tiny little cup of espresso and then I would pour a tiny amount of milk in it and put a tiny amount of sweetener in it. So I would just basically make it a miniature coffee.
Can I interrupt you? And like when I was there too, and I ordered an iced coffee, and the barista, because we're being fancy, said we have. Yes, he said we also have cold brew and nitro.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know what nitro is, but what's the difference between iced coffee and cold brew?
It's interesting that when you order cold brew,
And why would you have both? if
Because
there's a
so
difference?
regular brew is coffee made hot and then they cool it down. Cold brew is made cold.
Is there a flavor difference?
They
Like, why
say,
would you do-
yes, they say that it's less acidic. Some people really like the taste of
Cold
cold brew.
brew is less
Yes,
acidic.
yes. And then what is nitro? Because I was surprised you didn't get that because I know
They-
you're Mr. Nitro.
No, I'm not. But nitro,
not what
they
I've
have that gas pumped into it, so it's like it's like foamy. They have usually it's on draft.
Oh, it's like a foamy coffee.
Not foamy, but there's like a gas that's
It
pumped
gives a
through
different
it,
consistency.
and it has a different, and it tastes better. It is better
Why'd you not order it then? I figured you'd go for that.
because I wanted what I ordered.
Well, excuse me.
I decided on iced coffee.
Well, that's not what you got. You got cold brew.
Well,
So anyway.
I didn't know that there was a difference, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll have the cold brew."
So to you said, "Can I have iced coffee?" And he's like, "Just so you know, we have iced coffee and nitro."
No,
That's what it sounded like to you.
he said we have iced coffee, cold brew, and nitro, and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'll have the thing that was meant to be on ice." It's just weird.
You
that
know,
you would have
I
those
took
two.
a boring topic and I brought it to life, but you have now revealed it for the boring topic it is.
I feel like lean in was.
Drop.
No, don't stop it.
Come on. I don't have Tony here to play the drops live, so I need you to do them.
I can't.
Okay, fine. Anyway, so like I was saying, gal about town, you might think she knows her way around a latte and a cappuccino and a flat white, which didn't exist when I used to be drinking coffee.
It's a flat white.
It's like Australian, and I don't know. It's steamed milk and coffee. No, steamed milk and espresso, but I don't exactly know how it's different
You mean
from
it's a cappuccino.
Yes,
a
but
latte?
it's different in some way that is, I'm not sure what. It looks a little bit different. Or a macchiato. So anyway, and I do know my way around them. I did work for 1.3 days at a coffee kiosk, really. But no, I just go and I get, as I said, I get coffee or I get iced coffee because I just haven't wanted to deal with the rigmarole and the fact that it's mostly like a milkshake basically. But today I said, turning over a new leaf, I'm going to get myself who was I talking to last night who was saying they're really tired when people use the term myself? And
I
I
don't know,
just
but
used
what
it.
is turning over a new leaf?
Like, what does that mean? Let's figure that out after I get out my fascinating story. So anyway, I'm going to get a fancy coffee drink. So I got an iced horchata latte. And then Daniel ordered his boring coffee. And then we stood there for
1,000 years.
They gave Daniel his coffee right away. And then we stood there for, I'm going to say 21 minutes, between 16 and 28 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, this is why. Who has this kind of time?
People who go to a coffee shop on a Friday morning.
There's nowhere to hang. All you do, like, there's not like you can sit at your table and work on your screenplay. There was no tables inside. You just sit there.
At the hour we were there, I think they were probably like, the people here, they ain't got nowhere to be.
But we did have somewhere to be. Home.
Well, they didn't know our specific situation.
Well, they should ask. They should say, are you on a W-2? Are you on a 1099? What's your situation?
Fancy coffee place where they actually care, okay? And not fast food coffee like Starbucks.
Ooh, burn. Starbucks burn.
I'm fine with Starbucks, but yes.
Me too. It just sounded harsh.
I was thinking about how...
Anyway, hang on.
Oh, for God's sake.
It took forever, and it tasted fine, but it didn't taste so good that I think that I'm going to be... So, new leaf, flipped back over. I'm back under my old leaf. And now I'll look that up. Now say whatever you were going to say.
Before Starbucks became ubiquitous, there were, at least in Los Angeles, and I'm assuming this is the case everywhere, like lots of little coffee shops.
Yeah.
Like the
Highland Grounds that we both have gone to.
Yeah, in our neighborhood, we still have some, thankfully, strangely, actually. But throughout Los Angeles, they're almost all gone. There's a few. And I was on Twitter. Now, I don't know if you know this. It's now called X, honey.
Yeah, I've heard.
And I was reading some just lunatic rants. This time, these are you're probably thinking at home. You're probably thinking, "Oh, he's reading some MAGA people." Oh no, these were people on the left.
Oh, left. Now I'm going to interrupt you because.
Well, this is Allison's show.
Oh, thanks. That's right. I used to hear people saying like, I don't know, I don't like the extremists on either side. Don't you think like they would do both siderism? And I always thought like, just okay, Republican. I can't believe that I am now in the position of, it's like the scales have been pulled from my eyes and just seeing how like insane the extreme left is too. Like, it's like the horseshoe theory. Like, you're all fascists, like on both sides. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and anyway, there's this one which just, for some reason, it tickled a memory chord in my brain. Like, it just hit that little ding.
Oh, I love a memory chord.
And he made some just asinine comment about how, you know.
Who was this? Would I know?
No. He's like a leftist revolutionary type. And he was talking about how...
Was it Che Guevara?
No.
Or Che Diaz?
No. And he was talking about how we need revolution or whatever. And it's like, see, these people, they used to just be...
My armpit farted.
Great. They used to have coffee shops to go to where they could annoy people with their fucking stupid ass like political views. Like,
yes.
Oh yeah, you read Chomsky? Fascinating. Tell me more. You know, like, and they would just sit there. And I remember
You're a freegan?
When I was in college, my freshman year, my friends and I had a thing where, because we were all not from Los Angeles, we were like, every week we will go out, we'll discover a new coffee shop. That's how many there were. And we would discover a new coffee shop every week and study there. And then on other days of the week, we usually return to our favorites. And so I spent a lot of time in coffee shops, and it was like just lousy with these usually guys who are just fucking, you know, I mean, honestly, watch the movie Slacker, which is one of my favorites. And it's basically a movie of nothing but these people. And that was great. That's fine. A society with these people cranking off in their fucking in a coffee shop, but now they have a platform. And
are you talking about the internet? That's their platform.
I'm talking about Twitter.
Oh, X,
which is currently known as X.
Yeah.
And they'll get
FKA Twitter.
They'll get like, you know, I don't know, 3,000 people liking it. They'll get 1,500 replies. It's like they're getting all this attention. And it makes it seem like they are a bigger kind of movement than they are. When in actual fact, they were always just cranks and coffee houses that everyone could ignore. Like, who gives a shit what that dude thinks? Oh, you want a revolution? Okay, dude. Yeah, that'll happen.
Do people realize how unpleasant an actual revolution is?
No, they don't. I
don't mean like a revolution in footwear. I mean like an actual revolution in government. It's very bloody. I think it's bloody. It's inconvenient.
I think if you were to press them on it, they would say, well, no, it won't be like that kind of revolution because we would make – I'm not sure what their theory of how this revolution is going to go down, except like, yeah – I'll tell you one thing that won't happen. One thing that won't happen is you are going to somehow be at the top of the food chain.
Right.
Like, no, you are going to be ground into fucking mulch.
Mm-hmm. They start at the coffee houses.
Well, you have no power. Mm-hmm. You have no, like, how are you going to stand up to the forces that are going to be arrayed against you? Like, what are you fucking talking about, revolution, lunatic? Anyway, and all the people that you pretend to care about, all of the vulnerable people, they're the first to get fucking run over by the machinery of a revolution.
Yeah.
Freaks.
And then also you will find these people, and this is what I'm saying about like they're ultimately fascist. You will find these people who are like violence is not, revolution by any means, violence is necessary. And it's like, who are you sacrificing in saying that? Look, obviously I do, and this is a new place to be mentally, but like I do think war and military and all of that, I think there are noble reasons for those things to exist, which when I was young, I would have said I was a
warmonger.
I'm kind of a hawk. I would have said I'm a pacifist.
You're mongering it.
I was against any sort of, I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. All the housewives in Orange County, not Orange County, but all the housewives in where we lived were meeting. This cop was having like Tupperware parties where he was selling tear gas to all the moms in our neighborhood. And I'm sure there was a brochure where they could choose their fashionable tear gas. Like some of them had it on a big ring that went around that was a key ring, and some of them had it on like a little holster. And I remember had the one that my mom had, and like the little holster that hers came in, and then the one that my friend's mom had, and everyone it was you use your word ubiquitous suddenly. And I was very upset by this because I was so opposed to the idea of causing anyone harm. Like, why would you ever want to cause someone harm? And my dad said, well, what if like a wild dog is attacking your sister? And I thought, that's the worst example ever because I'm on the side of the dog. It's her. Have you met her? She's a toddler. She is getting in the way of my social life. She's just kind of always in the way.
The dog was coming at you, not your sister.
Right. But I was so pro animal that I, first, like, note, if you're ever if we go back in time and have this conversation again, I'm not an ally of my sister at that age, A, and B, don't use an animal in here. Because I'm always going to take the side of the animal. Like, yes, you might need it to commit cruelty to animals. No, I don't think so. But anyway, my favorite part of it. So all of that is to illustrate that for the longest time, the idea of inflicting physical harm on anyone or anything was very upsetting to me. And now I understand that sometimes there are reasons and blah, 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 blah. But here's the upshot of the story. And I know I've told it before, but it's my favorite. Turned out this guy was selling water. It wasn't even tear gas. It wasn't even tear gas. It was just like saline. I don't know what it was, but everyone was getting scammed.
Oh my God.
But you've seen where my parents live.
That's a brilliant scam because nobody is going to test it.
No one's going to test it because no one's going to test it, A. And B, it's never going to be used because look at the neighborhood they're in. And granted, now there's more gated communities and it's a little hoity-toityer.
What's anyone afraid of in that community? There's literally one socioeconomic class in that entire community.
Right. And it was a little less Tony then. And, you know, like my parents are in a gated, or my mom's in a gated community now, but there's not like a guard, but there is a gate. That was built when I was in college. It wasn't always like that, but still, it's always been sleepy and safe. So the idea, but that was like the, you know, McMartin preschool era. And I guess I don't recall Satanic Panic, but I think it was that time. It was like easy to drum up fears in the suburbs. Maybe it always has been.
I mean, I think that there was a lot more crime back then, and not in that neighborhood, but like in America, there was a lot more crime in the 80s, and especially in the cities. And so I think that maybe like that, no, you know, the feeling that, oh, crime is everywhere probably got, because even now you can go into small communities that are safe, and if you listen to a lot of like Fox News or whatever, people think that, you know, MS-13 is going to come and, you know, it's like, yeah, but you're in fucking Omaha.
Yeah.
No one cares. Like, there's no MS-13 coming to you.
Sometimes when I'm on some of the Facebook boards that I troll is the wrong word.
Haunt?
Patrol?
Haunt.
That I stink up. I see a lot of talk and it's been a while, but in Burbank I saw, you know what? Maybe it's also next door. Like I saw a lot of talk and concern about fentanyl, specifically around Halloween. And that always strikes me as a similar kind of.
Oh, you mean like in the candy?
Yeah, that feels like an urban. Oh, there was also one year where we weren't allowed to have any Halloween candy. Because people are putting razor blade, you know, that whole panic of like they're poisoning candy and putting.
Thing is hilarious to me. You'll hear it. I'm sure we'll hear it again this year. How like, oh yeah, they're giving drugs. They're putting drugs in candy. But it's like, first of all, it's a terrible crime because it's a terrible crime, but it's a stupid crime to commit because everyone knows where you live. Like what? First of all, like you're. So, okay, and then, what drug dealer is giving drugs away for free to kids?
That has been
the whole thing makes no sense. Like, it would have to be like it couldn't be. They want you to think it's like immigrant drug dealers or cartels that are doing it. It makes no sense. Why would they do that? Why would they just give it away to kids? It's stupid. But like. Okay, let's say that is a crime. The person committing that crime would have to be some sort of psychopathic serial killer type. Well, everybody would know who passed that candy out.
I've literally never. I was thinking back to DARE and the anti-drug programming and stuff because we used to have assemblies at my kindergarten through 8th school periodically where I was too young to really understand, but I know that like this older boy came in and was talking about acid that was on stamps and just crazy or like blotter paper. But anyway, I've literally in my life never, ever been peer pressured to do drugs. On the contrary, I've been excluded.
Well, that might be a you thing. There were for sure drugs in my
Were you peer pressured though? That's what I'm saying. I've never been peer pressured. I'm not saying I've never been around them.
Well, the peer pressure comes in and it's like if I had wanted to hang and party with a certain, well, really at my school, it was like even the popular kids were doing drugs. So it's like I just kind of avoided all of that stuff because I was just so focused on getting the fuck out of town.
And I was just unpopular, but literally no one ever has tried to make me do drugs.
But if I had, I there would have been pressure because the pressure would have been like, hey, you want to have fun? And certainly when I did start to like...
really think... Because that is exactly how it is presented in the...
The pressure isn't like,
cartoon.
Hey, man. It isn't like that. It's more just like...
Hey, kid, you want to fly?
People are No. That's not how it works, though. I mean,
No, but you're saying, do you want to have fun is what they would say. And I'm saying, are you sure?
No, I'm not saying someone would say that.
Oh.
I'm saying, like, I'm just saying if you wanted to have fun and party.
Oh, I see.
That's what people were doing. I'm not sure that anybody would have been like, what are you, square? Like, no one would have said anything,
Right.
but it would have just been there and normalized and just like not a big deal. And then look, everyone's doing it and nothing weird is happening and they're having fun, so might as well. Like, I think that's more how it works. It's not like it's not like how it's presented in those
Right.
things, but that's still pressure. That's still peer pressure.
Maybe social pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. Well, we're splitting hairs. I'm just saying I never. But one time I was peer pressured into ordering bread pudding by Christina Pajitsky. I was thinking about that. We went out to breakfast or lunch or something, and she was like, "You should get a dessert. Go ahead," because I think I was pregnant. Sorry, it wasn't that. It wasn't menacing like that. It was just like we were looking at the menu, and maybe I made a comment. She's like, "Get it. Come on, treat yourself. Get it." And I'm like, "Okay." I think anyone who suggests I order something, I'm like, okay. In that way, I am very malleable.
Yeah.
Because I didn't necessarily plan on getting bread pudding that day. And then next thing I know, I had bread pudding. I could be more pressured into that than drugs.
It's like you have an instinct to know where the interesting part of a story is.
And I steer away from it.
Yeah.
Are you really not going to do the drops?
I'm not.
God damn it. Well, listen, I found out what turn over a new leaf means. Do you want to take a guess?
Yes. Okay.
Would
Turn
you
over
take a
new
guess?
leaf means, so this is old and
16th century.
back when people used to shit in the forest. And
Like
when
what?
you've filled up a certain spot, you need to turn a new leaf over to the new spot where you. Is that right?
You're really close. The idiom turn over a new leaf originated in the 16th century and comes from the practice of referring to book pages as leaves. The phrase is a metaphor for starting over, making a change, or beginning a new chapter in life.
So I was right.
Yeah, it's also like you could hear people say like turning the page on. Or...
I call shitting. I call reading shitting.
Well, that makes sense.
I feel like there was something we were talking about that you distracted me away from.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about peer pressure and drugs more?
No.
Seems like you did.
Fuck. I've been really forgetful lately.
I know.
I think it's like post-COVID brain or something.
I want to blame so much on COVID. Can we?
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can blame everything on it.
And I also read something horrendous, like 1 in 5 to 10 people, which that is a large stat.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't mean it that way. I don't mean 1 in 5 to, sorry, I read 1 in 5 to 10 people is going to gets long COVID from every infection. And I don't mean that's a large stat, even though that is what I mean. I mean, 1 in 5 to 10, like, is it 1 in 5 or is it 1 to 10? Narrow it down. Yeah, it's a big range is what I mean to say. So yeah, I'm going to blame everything on that too. But I am happy to say that I'm finally feeling better after what felt like a month of plague, because I had COVID and then I had whatever that was after that.
I'm just waiting because Owen just started kindergarten, and I just remember when Elliot started kindergarten, we were sick for, fucking 7 months. Just one thing after the other.
I refuse to go there with my mind. I feel that we deserve immunity. We deserve it, and I will claim it. Can I tell you something that annoys me?
Okay.
I don't even know if I told you this. I might have. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, Daniel, but we have a dog. We have 2.
Yeah.
But the second one, Petey, needs to be neutered. Did I tell you this? You know what I feel like? I feel like I started to tell you this,
didn't
and
need to tell me this. I knew he needed to be neutered.
I feel like I started telling you this, and then you tuned out. Does that sound about right?
Sounds accurate.
Yeah. Okay. So, he also has an umbilical hernia, which is like a little hernia around his little belly button. Mm-hmm. So we need that repaired. So our local vet, who we used to go to a vet very far away, now we go to one closer, who's great, but they are so expensive. So they have quoted us a price of $1,320 to do all of that, which seems like a lot. So I've also heard about a vet in Yorba Linda who comes highly recommended, but that's kind of far away. But they are between 400 and
If you
500.
had a daughter named Belinda, she'd be your Belinda.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I wanted to put Belinda on my list of names if it was a girl. I still like that name.
Thank God we didn't have a girl. No offense to any Belindas.
I know, because you know what my other favorite name for a girl is?
Karen.
Yeah. I just like it.
Can you imagine if Elliot had been a girl and we named her Karen?
Mm-hmm.
We would be changing her name by now.
There are Karens listening.
I know. I feel bad. Like it would. I'm just waiting for Daniel to become some sort of slur.
Right. So anyway, what kind of slur should it be though?
Like a Daniel.
Well, I know how it would be used. What does it indicate?
I'm saying, what does it suggest to
Right.
you?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sort of Daniel.
Little Daniel. Look at that Daniel over there.
See, Daniel. So there's this vet in Yorba Linda, which is it's not convenient. But they're like between 400 and 500 or 450 and 550.
Something that should be so cheap. I mean, for God's sake.
Yeah. Do it with your teeth.
Oh, no, I'm just saying like neutering should be.
Well, they do have these low-cost neuter spay clinics, which I think are in mobile vans, where they also sell drugs, but that scares me a little bit. But
speaking of neutering,
okay,
the Price is Right dude just died.
Bob Barker.
Did you see the tweet? It was like
No.
fucking brilliant. It was like because he's 99, and the person said he got as close to $1 without going over absolute legend.
That's so good. Anyway, back to the story I was telling. So we had taken Wendy to a different vet, which is a little bit closer than Yorba Linda, for some of her Japan paperwork. So, and I thought they were nice, so I called them. The guy on the phone says to me, and I don't even mention the umbilical hernia, just how much would it cost to neuter a dog? He asked me for my phone number, and then I say, I'm calling about our other dog, and he says, since your dog has not established service here, we cannot give you a quote. You would have to bring the dog in for a visit first. And I said, how much is that? He said $80 or $85. And I said, you can't just give me a ballpark. No, I'm sorry. You can't just tell me just a range. I'm not asking for anything binding, just a range of what the neutering is. I'm sorry. No, like you don't even have a figure there of what just straightforward neutering of a 6-month-old dog is. I'm sorry. No, he was such a fucking asshole. He wasn't an asshole. He was just very committed to offering me nothing. So then I said, okay. And then I thought, I don't know that they care, but they just lost our business because I'm not bringing him in for $80. Actually, can I be honest? I'll be honest about what I did. And then I sat there for on and off altogether good hour trying to devise ways to shake this information out of him because I just refuse to believe that they will not disclose any information on the phone. So I'm like, I got to go above him. And then I'm like, why do I fucking care? It's not like I have to go to Encino to get PD neutered. And also we're not going to do it at 6 months. We're going to wait a little bit, but still.
Right. They wanted to rope you in to being their, primary vet. I
guess, but you could I'm sure it's not like it's either $16 or it's $6,000. I'm sure a standard neutering starts at X, Mm-hmm. A little ridiculous if you ask me. Did you check out? Where are you right now?
Well, you're talking about the most fascinating of topics. It's got my brain is just working overtime.
It's got something medical.
All the angles.
It's got genitals. It's got finance.
Yeah.
It's got veterinary. It's got animal husbandry.
Yeah.
Did you know? I'm sorry. Did you have something interesting to say, or just
no,
something
I was just
to
falling
say?
asleep.
Okay. Did you know that at the horrendous summer camp I went to, we had a class where we learned the names of animals when they're castrated?
You mean like we call an animal this, but then when it's castrated,
we call it
this?
Henry. Like its name was Jeff, and now we call it Henry. I'm just kidding.
No.
Yes. What you just guessed. Yeah.
I forgot they do that. Okay.
Yeah. Ask me anything.
Armadillos.
Dillards.
Dillards. Parrots.
Pariahs.
No, it's not true.
I don't think there is a name for a castrated parrot, but a castrated chicken is a capon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or a castrated rooster. Excuse me. I dead named a chicken. Keep going. There's some big ones.
Oh, a goose.
Fred, I actually don't know.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Big ones. Elephant.
I'll just tell you. How about if I tell you?
Okay.
You know that Seinfeld where it's like, where Kramer does movie phone? Like, how about if I just tell you? Okay, so a horse is a gelding.
Right.
A cow or a bull is a steer. And that's all I remember. Okay.
I forgot.
But it was under animal husbandry.
I feel like most people knew that.
I know. Names. This is fascinating. Names of. Oh wait, I really wish you could do your drop now.
I don't even.
Why?
know
It's like, why am I listening to this? Oh my gosh! Wow.
What?
There's just so many here. Oh. Okay. I'm going to give you a quiz. Okay.
All right.
What is a castrated bull that has been trained to work?
A castrated bull.
This is the AI overview. So who knows really, but
Colin.
no, ox. Okay. What is a castrated male pig? Usually castrated before sexual maturity.
Gerald.
A barrow. A wheelbarrow.
Is that if they lose their back legs?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, the yucks that you would have if you had a castrated male pig that needed to be wheeled around, that needed to have back wheels for back legs. It'd be a wheelbarrow. But that must be, because I've always wondered, why is it not like wheelbarrow, which is what people think it is. All right. A castrated male draft animal.
Wheel and deal. What do you suppose wheel and deal, like the wheel of wheel and deal, comes from?
I don't know. I will look that up in a minute. But, I thought of one more. A castrated human is a eunuch.
Yeah.
Oh, a stag. I knew that. Okay. Oh, interesting. If the cattle or pig has been castrated after sexual maturity, it's a stag. And if it's before sexual maturity, it's a steer. That's what I call fascinating. All right, let's look up wheel and deal. And then we need to listen to a call.
We also haven't talked about Tokyo Disneyland.
That's right.
There's been a request for that, but
I would like to know the origin of wheel and deal. Yeah, where did wheel and deal come from?
like, what is the wheel?
A roulette wheel, potentially.
Is that what it says?
Like from gambling. They think that, but they don't know for sure. Okay, yeah. Not only would people like to hear about Tokyo Disney, we received kind of a strongly worded iTunes comment of the week, which was 5 stars, which I fucking love. I've said it, and I'll say it again.
You can say anything.
Drag us for filth. No, read us for filth and drag us. Just give us 5 stars. They were like, I want to hear about your trip in detail. I don't want to hear about Daniel naming female body parts.
When did I do that?
Oh, I quizzed you on female body parts. I forget why.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought it was, to me, that's compelling content.
For a second there, I thought, oh my God, was I doing something boring? And then I realized
I made you do something boring.
That was you.
Yeah. And then also, someone has written in to let us know that stop talking about religion if you don't know what you're talking about, and thou shalt not kill or murder is in the 10 Commandments.
Hold on. You talk, because I got to look that up.
Okay. Well, they were adamant that it is. And then I was like, I think I didn't put it this way. I think it's a technicality, really. I don't think you're saying that it's not in what we consider the 10 Commandments. I think you're saying like people don't understand
about the actual text of the Bible.
Okay. Because I was like, he read the Bible.
Here, I'm going to look it up.
Okay, you look it up. And while you look it up, I will tell them something important about something important.
Let's see here.
Allison Rosen's Your New Best Friend is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. Not me. I looked up wheel and deal and barrows and bullocks. What's something you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language? I would like to learn banjo, honestly, and I've been talking about it forever. Maybe how to finally beat your best friend in bowling. Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back to school era can come back at any age. I will say, whenever I feel stuck, I mention it to my therapist. And somehow just the process of mentioning it, like I need to be writing more, I'm not doing that, or I feel stuck regarding this, or blah, blah, blah. It just makes things start moving again. It's invaluable. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/bestfriend today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/bestfriend. Okay, so get this, everyone. We're going to have to revisit because it's taking a little bit longer. But this guy was just like, look, everyone agrees that this is in the 10 Commandments. And I'm like, I feel like it was a technicality. But Daniel's going to have to find it. And then we're going to have to revisit.
Well, I understand that it's in the 10 Commandments as we understand the 10 Commandments. I'm just not sure that the text, at least the text that I read, when it started to list the actual 10 Commandments, those 10 Commandments were, maybe I was reading the wrong part of the Bible.
Are you talking about the first 10 Commandments? Like the first, because the first 10 aren't what's considered the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are supposedly what Moses brought down from Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Anyway, I could be wrong. I've never read the Bible.
I thought you were reading the Bible.
No, I read that part of the Bible.
Oh.
Well, because I think that story is hilarious. Because the first thing God says to Moses goes up the mountain and he sees a burning bush and it's God. And God, one of the first things God says is, don't kill, thou shalt not kill. And then he gives him the tablets and he goes down and he sees his people worshiping a golden calf. And he gets really angry. Moses gets really angry and he breaks the tablets, and then I think he like kills like the firstborn. Like he goes on a murderous rampage, and then he has to go back up the mountain.
Wait, is that past? No, that's not.
No. And then he has to go back. So the first thing he does is break the first command, and then
does God say anything?
And then he has to go up and get another set of tablets.
I like that there's comic relief in it.
I don't know that it's supposed to be funny. It's hilarious to me, but although if you're watch someone go, that's not what it says at all, you got it totally wrong. Maybe I did, I don't know, but I like the idea that the Bible is basically saying these things are impossible to keep.
Yeah,
like
I've killed 6 people.
The first thing he does is break one of the commandments,
right?
So like we're not really expecting you to adhere to these like completely.
Excuse me, my phone made a sound.
Anyway,
let's hear what callers have to say. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Hi, Allison. This is Jamie. I'm calling from Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. I'm in the military, so that's how I ended up here.
Did you also think this person was incarcerated at Guantanamo for a second?
I did not think that.
Okay. Well,
I doubt if someone were granted a phone call who was incarcerated.
You take that
calling
back.
Your voice.
You take that back.
Maybe they would.
I
would like to think they would.
Sort of like when Todd was like, when you were in Japan, did a lot of listeners reach out to you like, I'm in Japan too? And I said,
They
no.
did. A few did when we were in Paris.
Yeah.
I wish they had when we were in Japan because I would have liked
we would have
more
liked
of an insider
yes.
experience. I think that was the thing that was missing from our experience.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Other than the famous prison, it's actually a Navy base, a 45 square mile wide Navy base. So I'm doing other things that don't involve the prison, luckily. It's kind of a weird place. There's giant iguanas everywhere. There's banana rats, which if you Google banana rat, they kind of look like capybaras, but a little bit smaller.
Maybe that's what I thought capybaras were.
They're much larger than squirrels, but smaller than an actual capybara, like maybe the size of a baby capybara. I don't know. They're kind of cute, kind of weird, kind of creepy, and they're everywhere. There's also a lot of stray cats. But anyways, I'm calling to tell you about my internet rabbit holes. Number one is probably sovereign citizens. I like watching traffic stops. Basically, there are people that believe that they're not Americans even though they were born here, and they have some kind of interpretation of the Constitution that says that somehow the government doesn't govern them. And so they, for example, don't have to drive with a license plate or a driver's license because the Constitution grants them the right to travel. And so they are usually people with suspended driver's licenses that get pulled over, and then it's all downhill from there. It's really interesting to watch them argue. Obviously, I'm in the military. I'm a law-abiding citizen who can follow the rules, so I just find it interesting to watch those people. Anyway, that's it. Have a good one.
Thank you for calling in, Jamie. I like to know that we have a field reporter in Guantanamo, not the prison. I looked up banana rat. They're fucking adorable. And also I see how they could be creepy, but they're also called hutia, apparently. Okay. And Daniel knows of sovereign citizens.
What are you thinking of?
Didn't you tell me about them? Didn't you tell me?
Well, I know these videos she's talking about. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I don't remember talking about it with you, but yeah.
Well, someone did. No, you did.
These videos are hilarious because so they have like a script, and they'll be arguing with the police officer about how they don't have to, you can't pull me over or you can't arrest me because of this thing, and the cops are always just like, get the fuck out of here. I've been lately watching a lot of videos with people debating with flat earthers.
Oh, is this this week on TikTok?
No.
Twat?
This is not
It's
a twat.
not? Okay.
This is a YouTube. This week on YouTube. This is a twy. The toy.
A twite?
The toy.
Twoit.
The twoit.
But here's the thing. We're using it colloquially. So it's just this week on social media, but it's so that we can say twat.
Well.
So I think it's your twat.
No, I think we should keep them separate.
Really?
Because
that messes me up.
Well, I think having one just for TikTok is more interesting to me, just because it's like everybody's TikTok feed is different. So it's like, here's something you could be getting.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, debates with flat earthers are so compelling to me because why do you all think it's round? No, because it's rare that you get a debate where one side is just so clearly wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, what? This isn't like, Republicans versus Democrats. This is
right.
Just
it
like,
isn't like the intelligent minds can disagree.
Right. This is like, okay, one side is just wrong. They're just wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, this isn't a matter of opinion, and yet. A lot of them have arguments that are so Byzantine and so like filled with all of this fake like scientific reasoning and weird twists of logic, and it's compelling because I think you can see how humans, despite what seems to be an obvious fact, can still twist themselves to believe something that's completely bananas by our modern standards.
Can you give me an example of what one of their arguments is?
Well, their arguments are hard to decipher because what they often are doing is they use they reference things that, unless you're like steeped in their world, you don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But it'd be like certain kinds of like, I can't even tell you the terminology they use.
Does
but it's
something
like,
have to do with the horizon?
well, I mean, one of the arguments against it is, oh God, it's just like, it's maddening. One of the arguments against it, of course, is like, well, the sun, when it disappears under the horizon, you when it sets, you see it disappear, like it goes away. And if it were a flat Earth, the sun would go further away. Like they believe that it, like, I can't even understand how they think that the sun moves around in the sky. And so they have all of these like explanations for like angular distortion and all this shit. And it's just like,
so how do they explain that when it's nighttime here, it's, daytime somewhere else?
So that I've never heard them
the
explain
other
that.
edge of the world of the flat Earth.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what they think. I think they think that the sun just sort of moves around like a spotlight. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So do they believe other planets are around?
I don't think they believe in other planets.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, they don't believe other planets are real. Like, it's kind of
Do
one
they
of those
believe
things
in the
of, like,
moon? I gotta watch these now.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I'm not sure what their position about the moon is. Stars to them are just dots in the sky. I think this going back
the
to
sky
the Bible,
that's just straight above us. Or
my sense is that a lot of these people believe this. I'm not saying all. A lot of them, because they are like Christian, maybe not just Christian, but they believe in the Bible and the Bible's version of when it's described in Genesis.
Is it flat?
Yeah, it's like he created the firmament and then he separated the sky from the earth, and so it's like that is not to them. Like if that's true and it's literal, then it's a flat Earth, and it's like,
and hell is inside the earth or under earth?
Well, hell isn't in the Bible, really. It's not like,
but heaven is above the earth.
I guess the heavens. I don't know.
Question for
they
the
don't
list.
talk about that. They try to argue that. I guess that's the thing. They try to argue from a position of science, not religion.
So
it just sounds crazy. Anyway, there's something satisfying about it. Whatever.
Why? Why is it satisfying?
Because it's just rare that just one side is correct. And
I see. Sort of like Law and Order SVU, where it's very black and white. Who's the bad guy?
And when you hear them get all indignant and like, throw insults at the person who's trying to explain why the Earth is round, it reminds you that, like, I don't know. There's something that it.
Is it a similar rhetorical style to dumb political arguments you find yourself in?
So there is an argument style where you meet an argument with ridicule and mockery.
Yeah.
And it can sound like you can make your position sound convincing to people simply by like ridiculing or mocking another person's position. And when you hear someone who believes in a flat Earth do that, it kind of breaks the illusion of that kind of argument a little bit.
That's what I was saying. It's the same rhetorical style as some dumb political arguments you find.
No, I'm
in.
agreeing. I'm like illustrating it. So it's like when, I don't know, maybe someone who used to have a popular podcast that you used to work for would mock and ridicule his opponents as a way of trying to show that he's correct, but never engage in the argument, like with COVID or something like that.
Yeah.
You just realize, like, you could do that with anything. I could argue that Looney Tunes is based on a true story, and you would say, "Oh, come on, how could that be?" And you'd be like, okay, you fucking pussy."
I just want you to know that
you
spit on me a lot.
Yeah, you fucking pussy. Yeah, of course you'd think that. Oh man, I can't even do it because I don't. Whatever. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. Go ahead.
You and me, just me or everyone.
I know.
Okay. Question for you guys out there, but not in Japan, since apparently I don't have listeners in Japan. Do you know any flat earthers in real life, and what is that experience like? Call in, let us know, 323-553-2331. You could also email ariyNBFshow@gmail.com. This has been pretty delightful. Subscribe to my Substack.
Substack.
It's been tough for me to get them out lately because we've been adjusting to this new schedule that, frankly, I'm beginning to hate. But I'm working on one right now. I've returned to the Corolla story, and I am just cranking away slowly, but it'll be out probably this weekend. AllisonRosen.sub. Oh, by the time you hear this weekend will have already happened. It's out by now, most likely. AllisonRosen.substack.com. Again, Patreon. Again, all the stuff. Thank you so much for your support. I'm barely hanging on. Leave us a nice comment or whatever kind of comment you want, but a nice one, please. And click 5 stars. Tell your friends. Daniel's around. Everyone, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show?